Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm having actually, I'm having some issues with my camera. Well, good morning, guys. Yeah, I'm having actually. So I will probably have to go with no, no face cam today. So yeah, I don't know what's happening honestly, but yeah, let's get straight to the charts and forget about it. Honestly. I'm kind of annoyed right now. So yeah. Well, first of all, good morning to everybody, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, today it's the day before NFP. So as you can see here, I've marked some relative equal highs here that I would like to see purged. But as you can see as well, we have some back and forth action, which is normal and uh, which is typical for a how should I say it for a price action prior to NFP. So this is Thursday. We will have NFP tomorrow, and yeah, I honestly don't expect much. Price may eventually um, behave in a strange way and might eventually keep going like it is doing right now. So taking it into some lower time frames. I've lost some time here trying to figure out what's going on with my camera. So I will put everything in place here while I talk. So yeah, let me just first of all mark the time windows. So Asia range, I mean London range in between 2 and 5 a.m. So this is London here. So we have London lows and London highs. We also have in between 8 p.m. and midnight. We also have the Asia range. So Asia highs and Asia lows. So god damn it. Yeah. Asia. This is Asia. So this is the Asia range. Let me mark the midnight open as well. So midnight open is right here. Is this green candle right here? So I'm not in a rush. I know that it's already 9:30, but I'm not in a rush, honestly. So midnight open. I will mark 8:30 open as well. So 8:30 open. As you can see here, all these opens are quite next to each other. So it indicates that we are inside of a small range, and we can have some boring action today. So yeah, these are the opens. I will mark now the first presented fair value gap, which is this one right here. Here we have the first presented fair value gap. I will just zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Let me just check. Yeah, this one is the first presented one. And now we are kind of prepared to do some analysis on the chart. So as you can see here, taking it back to the hourly chart, yesterday we did a massive move to the upside on the New York PM session. We left some imbalances behind, and it transformed it into a fair value gap on the hourly. And Asia just ranged here, London as well, and now we are playing above this inefficiency, the hourly fair value gap, and right above us we have some sort of relative equal highs and this trend line liquidity here, as you can see. So usually when you have some trend line liquidity like this, price tends to go boom and attack all those stops that we can eventually see here being placed as short sellers. So everybody who tried to sell the market in between the 29th and the 1st of September, yeah, everybody who placed their orders here, they have their stops right below here, 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 and eventually here. So these ones are already being punished since the Asia price action, and we still have someone to be punished here as well. So the main idea here is to wait probably for some type of manipulation to the downside. This is what I would like to see, a manipulation to the downside, eventually taking London lows, and then boom, price going to the upside. If we take a look into lower time frames here, you can see that we already took London highs. I would like to see some sort of manipulation to the downside here, eventually taking Asia lows as well, and then boom to the upside. I don't know if this will happen because we are in the day before NFP, and the day before NFP usually is a boring day without any type of action. As you can see here, the market has been ranging since Asia. Nothing has been happening, and honestly, I think that the price action will stay as it is. We can eventually go for a run to the upside, but yeah, it's always tricky to say something when you have NFP the day after. So we still have some news as well. PMI in 2 minutes, and at 10 a.m. we will have another news driver, which is this is PMI final, and this is ISM services PMI. So basically the same thing. I don't even know what it means. I don't care about that. I just care about price action, and eventually the news driver will just do what we are expecting with price action, nothing more. So I'm really sorry about my camera. I don't know what's going on with it. I will have to check it later. But yeah, today we just have to work like this. No camera. But yeah, let's see what price action will bring us today. Honestly, I'm not expecting that much. So as you can see, 9:30 open. We just opened. We were ranging here. This is the range here. So this was the accumulation prior to 9:30, as you can see here. We can eventually go a little bit back to 8:30. And usually we look for manipulation before any type of distribution. So if this is the manipulation, we will probably distribute lower and eventually save these relative equal highs for some sort of later price action. But it can happen that we don't have any type of manipulation to the downside, and price will just grab those relative equal highs as a manipulation, and then boom to the downside. So right now price is just digging. It's just climbing, I mean, to the upside. The first presented fair value gap was kind of respected here. And yeah, let's see. Let's wait for the news driver. The first news driver already hit here. Not much of a reaction. Not much of a reaction here. Let's just see. Let's just see if price will come to the upside or not. I believe so. This is the main draw that I think price will respect. But yeah, this tends to be the Thursday before NFP tends to be a non-tradable day. As you can see here, there's a lot of liquidity down here on the regular trading hours. These relative equal lows as well. So I believe that NFP will do some damage tomorrow. And yeah, eventually we will take these relative equal highs and then seek for some kind of um, rebalance, since yeah, this was a one-sided market here, as you can see, and there's a lot of liquidity here still as well. But yeah, let's let's just be a spectator for now and wait for 10 a.m. news to deliver. There we go. Nice displacement to the downside. So some minutes ago, I marked this as an accumulation. This was the accumulation pre-open. I don't know, but this might be some sort of manipulation here, since we don't have any type of manipulation to the downside. And if so, we will definitely go lower and leave these relative equal highs to some lighter price action. So we have 1 minute before the macro as well. Price is kind of thick here. As you can see, it's still mumbling here, zigzagging, not doing anything that I kind of like here. If you look into NQ, it's doing almost the same, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, NQ is trying to go for these lows. It's kind of weaker first presented fair value gap is being respected by now. So far, we have nothing to work with. Still reading price, nothing to work with. And yeah, if you are trying to do something today, I advise you to keep your expectations very low, because price can eventually be quite hard to trade, since we are in the day before NFP. So don't try to force anything, or don't try to reach for something that's not a low hanging fruit. Try to do something that's very clear, or try to reach for something that's very clear, and not go for um, long distance draws or something like that. Yeah, so far the first presented fair value gap is acting as support on price here on AS. So usually the accumulation pre-open is followed by some sort of manipulation, and usually a manipulation is a quick, a fast move, an aggressive move that will entice players to go along with it. This could eventually be something like that, but it's lacking some sort of speed. It's it's not doing anything right now, and these candles are pretty big. It's a 7 handle candle. It's pretty big for AS. Yeah, it seems like price action is just waiting for the 10 a.m. news. I can see some long players trapped in here. A lot of players may try to play those longs in here, and I don't know, but it seems like price can eventually go back to the accumulation zone. It's taking too much time in here, I believe. we still have 5 minutes before the news driver to be released. But in the meantime, we are 5 minutes inside the macro, so nothing is happening, just like expected. So one of the most important things as a trader is to know and to know what to expect from the market. I think I think that's the most important thing is to know when okay we will probably have a good day, and yeah, there are some times that it's just yeah, just let me put this inside on the center, take the background off. Yeah, yeah. As I was saying, I guess the most important thing as a trader is to know what to expect from the market, and whenever you whenever it whenever you shall be trading or whenever you don't. So I guess those elements, those are the most important things that make a trader a profitable one, uh, because those those moments, avoiding those moments whenever you know when not to trade, those are the moments that will avoid, and save your account from being distracted by an algorithm that's not going anywhere. So I think that's one of the most important things as a trader is to know when to be present in the market and when to, um, put your ships into a trade, um, because there are times that you should not be in a trade, or that you should not be in a in a in a price action environment. And I guess today is one of those days. It doesn't mean that we won't have, or we will not have some sort of, run to some sort of drawn liquidity. Um, but I believe that today the probability to have one of those movements, it's quite low. So you have to, as a trader, you have to protect yourself from those days, and keep things simple. Not every day has to be a trading day. And yeah, my last two, this will be, yeah, this week I didn't take a trade. I didn't believe that. I don't believe. I mean, I don't believe that, the days prior to NFP are good days, and they usually, if you look into probabilities, they usually tend to be hard days to trade. Or, it doesn't mean that, just like I've said, it doesn't mean that you will have one or two good days, but most of the time, they will hurt you. So the news driver just released. Let's just see. Let's just see what will happen from here. So so far no action here. price is just mumbling around, doing nothing so far. It's quite a boring morning so far. We had just 2-3 candles that moved in some type of way. And yeah, just barcoding for now. So I believe that at this point there are a lot of traders trying to play these longs, expecting something like this. And usually, when there's a lot of people trying to play a narrative on bad days, um, they usually tend to be finished. So yeah, I'm curious to see what will eventually happen. See, there you go. Another move to the downside here. So those guys who took their longs and bought in expectation to go for those relative equal highs, if they're not stopped out yet, they are praying not to be stopped out. So let's just see if price wants to go once again inside the accumulation zone, or if it will just displace to the downside, or this is just a manipulation and taking out these lows and then moving to the upside. At the same time, this is too clean as well, so this might be used for some later action. See, so everybody who has tried to get into longs, they might have their stop loss below these lows. So I believe that price will now go below those lows and punish everybody who tried to buy. Nice displacement to the downside, right inside a macro. Yeah, so far, good tape reading from price. See, it came for those lows. Let me just push the macro a little bit below. So we are now back inside the accumulation zone. This was indeed the manipulation that I was talking about. And what we can eventually expect, if this was a clean market, we could eventually expect a distribution lower, seeking for London lows and Asia lows as well, minimum. Because if you look into the regular trading hours, you can see that there's a lot of liquidity here. there's a lot of liquidity here, and you have these relative equal lows here down below as well. But since we are in a Thursday pre-NFP, um, this this type of action can eventually not happen. So you have to keep that in mind. So price is now in between the open, uh, 8:30 open, 9:30 open, and midnight open. Midnight open can eventually act as a support on price, as you can see. Yeah, seems like price will eventually go lower here. We are respecting bearish PD arrays as this fair value gap here. But at the same time, not liking how midnight open it's just serving as support right now. At this point, I would like to see some displacement to the downside. Yeah, I really can't understand what happened to my camera connection, honestly. I don't know if it's a problem with OBS. Maybe I have to restart OBS or something like that, but I don't know. We'll not do it right now for sure. We'll deal with it later. See, price is just mumbling here. Really not liking how it does not offer us some speed. Midnight open acting as support right now. Let's see if this order block is is being respected or not. I would like to see this order block being respected. I would not like to see bodies, candle bodies closing inside the order block, just like it's it's happening. See, price is getting inside of the range once again, side of the accumulation zone. So in a normal type of market, this should give us something lower and not deliver like this. But remember when I told you that I I had the suspicions that this was too clean here for me. This is what we call trendline liquidity. Whenever we see those um, clean edges, clean tops or clean lows, yeah, always get suspicious about them because eventually they will get attacked and probably price will do it. So the distribution narrative right now, it falls a little bit apart, but I don't know. Let's see. 9:30 and 8:30 is acting as resistance right now. So this order block got disrespected. This fair value gap is being inverted right now. So have you seen how midnight open acted as support and price? That's why I usually don't like to short or buy whenever price is next to midnight open. Yeah, price had a necessity to go for the open, 9:30 open and 8:30 open, and is now displacing downwards. And now I would like to see price coming and displacing with some speed. So this was not an inversion. This was just a retest. Price came for this mitigation block probably here. There we go. Yeah, price coming once again to midnight open. Kind of retested midnight open. It came for the order block as well. This one right here. And right now we have Asia lows as our main draw. So this is the main liquidity point here. The sell side liquidity here. But as you can see, there's a lot going on here that's not been rebalanced yet. So we had a lot of room to, and a lot of space here to fulfill. So price can eventually come a little bit lower and yeah, coming for the order block here. So in normal conditions, this should be a clean, short setup because we still have sell side liquidity here. So we have this fair value gap as well. But yeah, watch how price is just acting weird, right? Yeah, that's the typical price action that you will get on a Thursday pre-NFP. Well, but if you look at NQ already took Asia lows. So this might be acceptable. This might be acceptable. This reaction from ES might be acceptable, but because at this time we have some SMT in between ES and, am I right? Yeah, yes, I'm right. Yeah, NQ was able to go for this sell side, and that's why ES is reacting like this. So right now we have an inversion. We might have a breaker here if price just goes to the upside. Let's just see, because we still have these and we still have relative equal highs here as well. So what can happen is price will come here, boom, and then we would have our entry on the retest of the breaker, and then price would come up. So I will take this out here. Take this out as well. Yeah, for something long, I need to have that breaker. Otherwise, this is just garbage price action that will do whatever it wants to do. And in order to have this breaker here, I need to see price come above and retest once again here and use 830 open and 930 open as support points. So the inversion is done. I will take this one off. The inversion is done. We left some sell side liquidity here, but we have an SMT in between ES and NNQ, and I will mark the SMT here just to make things a little bit more clearer. So this is the SMT. On the higher time frames. And right now, I would like to see price come above this candle, eventually close above it. Why do I have my 930 open here? It's not attached to the candle. I don't know why. Okay, there we go. Nice reaction here. And now I would wait for a retest of the breaker. And then we might have our run to the upside. If it doesn't, so this is the manipulation leg actually. We can eventually project price here. Yeah, the confluences are not that great. -2 standard deviation. Yeah, we don't have any big, yeah, we have this one here. This one here is buy side liquidity. But yeah, in order to engage with price action here, we need to see some sort of retest of the breaker, or eventually this fair value gap that's here. And I will mark this one here. So this is the fair value gap. And actually we have some type of a unicorn setup right now. But if price goes straight to this trend line liquidity here, then I would not consider any type of trades, because after taking this liquidity out, price can eventually come once again down and be here for a while, generating more liquidity, and yeah, that would be annoying. We have this volume imbalance here as well. If we take some measure of OT level here, just let me check OT levels. Yeah, so 50% should be near the order block, so inside the breaker, and a little bit below this fair value gap here. I don't believe we will go that far. So price came for this fair value gap here. I honestly would like to see price come a little bit lower. Maybe we will not have the retrace that I was expecting inside the breaker. As you can see here, we have a flat candle here. And usually when the market uh, leaves like this, leaves something like this, flat candle, uh, it's usually an algorithmic signal that, yeah, I will go there once again. Just wait for me. So it's almost a signal that you can believe in, that price will sooner or later go for these tops or these lows. Yeah, seems like I don't know. I honestly don't know if we will get that a retrace. It would have been great if price came a little bit lower, but yeah, sometimes it's just like this, just like this. See, there we go. Yeah, nice price action read, but was not able to catch this one. Yeah, probably I was demanding too much from price action. In the meantime, ES already cleaned these relative equal highs, this trend line liquidity. So back to this fair value gap here. This one should hold. If I have taken this entry here, this would be the point where I could eventually pyramid a bit because there's still liquidity here on these relative equal highs. So imagine that I'm entering here with, I don't know, 6 micros or 5 micros. I would put one more here. A nice reaction here from this fair value gap. Yeah, so far everything is working accordingly to what I was expecting. The only thing that I missed was honestly the entry. I guess I was demanding too much from price action. But yeah, it is what it is. I will not chase anything on a day prior to NFP. So in the meantime, we will have 1050 macro. Let me just mark 1050 to 1110. There we go. So nice response here from price action. Yeah, this was honestly a clean setup. I guess I was too skeptical on price action. Could have entered somewhere here, but yeah, as I said, I was expecting something a bit lower just to enter. But yeah, price was satisfied with a touch on the fair value gap. Yeah, nice run here from price. Let me just check how many handles did we run since the start. 13 handles. Not that bad on a Thursday pre-NFP. But the first minutes of the open were kind of tricky, honestly. I believe a lot of people tried to sell around here, but since I noticed that NQ took this sell side liquidity, yeah, I was convinced that yes wouldn't go any further down and would eventually give us some sort of inversion type of play. And there we go. Not bad of a price action, honestly. Yeah, at this point, I believe there's nothing more that I can do. We might end up retracing probably at around 11, retracing back into inside the range, probably around 11 or 1050, 1050, 11, 11 something. Um, because that's usually what the market does, and that's usually what the algorithm is programmed to do. So, uh, but first of all, I would like to see price get into these relative equal highs. Price goes into these relative equal highs, then we can eventually expect a retrace in between 11, 1050 and 11. Let me just take a look on NQ. Yeah, NQ already, not already, but NQ it's a little bit behind. Let's see what the next couple of minutes have to offer us. I don't believe the run will stop here. I believe that it will go a little bit further, probably near minus 1.5 standard deviation. But it can happen since we are in a Thursday pre-NFP. It can happen that it will stop here and it goes back to this range. That would be some strange behavior, but typical behavior um for a session prior to NFP. Well, despite not being in any trade, I was my expectations were kind of low for today's price action, and yeah, my rules say that I should not engage in the day prior to NFP. So I will. I started the stream with the intention just to tape read it. Um, if if price action in this situation here, if price came a little bit down here, a little bit touching a little bit of the breaker, yeah, I would have engaged, but otherwise, yeah, I was not I was not my mental state was not prepared for engaging in some sort of a trade. So that's why I decided not to be aggressive and not to take the entry right here at the top of the fair value gap here. In other type of situations, I might, but not today because yeah, because price can eventually stop here where it is and come back uh, right inside the range. So I told you in the first minutes of the stream that you should aim for low hanging fruits, and the low hanging fruit here was these relative equal highs here, this trend line liquidity. The next low hanging fruit should be those relative equal highs. But as you can see, it's taking some time for price to go for those ones. Uh, it was relatively quick for price to finish everybody who's trying to sell and put their stops here. Um, but it's taking some time now. So the low hanging fruits were kind of here. Even if I would take a full stop or a full profit, it would be a 2.33 risk to reward. Um, but I believe I would take some partials only. Yeah, looking into NQ and ES, ES seems a little bit stronger than NQ right now. Seems like it's preparing for another run. But yeah, at this point, I would like to see price going for these relative equal highs inside this time window, and eventually inside this time window or somewhere after 11, um, price price could eventually do something. I don't know, right after 11, something like this, or some type of a retrace. But for that to happen, it needs to reach for relative equal highs eventually inside a macro or near 11 o'clock. Otherwise, price might tend to be here for a while, generating some more liquidity, taking out some lows, and then in the lunch hour or at New York PM, trying to reach for those relative equal highs. Let's see if price will go a little bit further. That's what I'm expecting at least. But as you can see, the run, the run. So far, we have 11 handles because, yeah, they might have some aggressive traders that would go for an aggressive entry around here, but I would not be comfortable entering somewhere around here because there was no breaker. So I believe that's why I believe that the safest entry would be around here. Oh well, it's taking some time here, as you can see. Typical typical behavior. So we are already inside a macro. I would like to see price come a little bit further. Mm-mm. Let's see if it does the run because we have some relative equal highs here. We also have some relative equal lows. So let's see what happens first. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what's happening with my camera, but honestly, I don't know. I may have to reboot my PC probably and restart OBS in order to figure out what's happening. It's kind of a shame that I wasn't able to turn on the camera. Well, the camera is turned on, but it's not connecting to OBS, and I don't know why. So pretty boring action right now. Kind of curious to see if we will have some sort of um, retrace after 11. In the meantime, we are streaming for almost 2 hours or not. Yeah, 1.5 hour. Yeah, I will take the stream for probably 10 minutes more. And then I will probably end the stream as well because at this point I have no intention to trade anything. I have no intention to trade anything. I just have the intention to see if we will hit these relative equal highs inside the macro or if we will just start a retrace. Well, well, well. Such a boring action since, yeah, 20 minutes. 20 minutes and there's no move. What about you guys? Have you traded anything? Did you trade? Did you open any trades yet? Um, are you into something right now, or are you just reading and tape reading the price action? I would like to know. I'm just curious about you guys. I see that there's one or two guys that's been here since the beginning of the stream, and I'm curious about you guys. Well, the macro is developing, so we might end up retracing or hitting these relative equal highs here. Let's just see. Seems like it's trying to decide itself, but watch how price did not take these lows. It left a lot of um, flat candles here behind as well. So it's telling us that I will come back here. So it might come back here after taking these highs first. So it's just a matter of time just to see how it will behave. So there we go, reaching for those relative equal highs. There we go. So right now I'm just curious to see if we will start some sort of retracement after hitting these relative equal highs or not. this point, we just need one more push to the upside, just to, it will stall probably a bit here at minus 1.5. But yeah, it was a nice read on price action. Honestly, I'm content with it. The only thing that I'm not content, honestly, is that the price didn't give me that entry that I was expecting. A little bit lower here would have been great to see, but yeah, sometimes it is what it is, and we just have to accept it. But yeah, as I said before, I was not, I had no intention to trade today, so only if there was um a plus 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 setup. This was a plus setup, but there was some pluses missing. So right now we still have 5 minutes inside the macro. Let's see if price will use it to deliver the ultimate um, low hanging fruit. It's not the low hanging fruit, but the ultimate draw that we were expecting. So 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left for the macro to end. But yeah, we are in this range since 10:37. It's 11:07, so 30 minutes inside the range. It's kind of annoying, honestly. But yeah, guys, um, I guess I will do my closing statement here. for the stream. It was a nice stream, honestly. It was a nice read on price. I was expecting a draw on liquidity right here since the beginning. When price came here, I knew that okay, something it's a bit odd. We are taking too much time in here. We are eventually accumulating longs just to punish them, because at this point this was some sort of a accumulation here. We manipulated to the downside and eventually distributed a little bit to the downside, trying to hit sell side liquidity. ES was not able to go for sell side liquidity because, on the other hand, NQ hit sell side liquidity as Asia lows, and as soon as I saw this reaction without ES getting into sell side liquidity, I took a peek on NQ, and yeah, sell side liquidity was delivered on NQ, and then I anticipated a formation of a breaker here. Price just displaced to the upside quite quickly. It formed this fair value gap here. I was expecting it to come a little bit lower, eventually to the midpoint of this fair value gap that would have some confluence with the breaker. It never came. It was enough for price to go for the first limit of the fair value gap, and then it's just gone uphill here, and yeah, it was not a big move. It was a small move. It's just from here to where it is right now. It's about 12 handles. It's not that great of a move, but yeah, it would be enough for a positive day. Would be enough for a 3R day. But yeah, unfortunately, I did not take it. But in the end, I was not expecting to trade today. So it was a nice read on price, I believe. And yeah, if you guys liked how I'm reading price and how I'm expressing myself and how I feel on price, yeah, just hit that like button. Follow me on my socials as well. And yeah, I think tomorrow we will have some more interesting action, because it will be NFP. I will not stream NFP. I will just stream after NFP. But I believe it will be a nice day to trade. And yeah, that's it. I guess that's it for today. We might end up retracing now. As you can see, there's a lot of liquidity still here below. But yeah, I'm not interacting with this market anymore, even if it does the retrace that I was telling you about some minutes ago. I will not engage with it. Probably engage with the market tomorrow. And yeah, that's it for today's action. Thank you very much for being here. Just hit the like button, subscribe, and yeah, you can find me on any social. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Thank you for being here, and see you tomorrow. Thank you.